One of the best things about watching a music video of any of the BTS members is the plethora of possibilities in terms of narratives. There is always so much to unpack that you can literally go to hundreds of different directions. Anything that resonates with you will most likely hold its ground. And this is not an exemption. So, whatever I'm about to say is just my interpretation, and in no way am I claiming this is to be the correct one. If available, I prefer starting at the artist's intention. For Come Back to Me, RM provided us with some clues. According to Big Hit, the whole album's theme is the concept of right and wrong. It looks into the contradictory emotions of people who want to challenge something new, but at the same time, they want to be complacent and relaxed and secure with reality. For Come Back to Me, RM specifically said that it's about everything coming back, but maybe we will not get everything back. The director added, and I quote, "It took a lot of conversations where we were sharing stories back and forth, sharing personal things, both in his end and my end. Then we arrived at a strange story about a man that is trapped in the past, the present, and the future, and it seems to not be able to leave his own home." This actually reminds me of a book I read once, which I probably need to read again, The Midnight Library. The Midnight Library. It is about the choices we make in order to live our life well, but we can never do it to its perfection.
Well, we've heard this song before. He actually performed this in August D's finale concert. And I thought it was pretty special that he decided to do it there, even though he has not released the song. Second, he already knew he was going to release the song. And third, because Suga is one of his closest friends. So I thought it was a symbolic thing that by the time Suga was ending his concert, he was starting his project. Okay, if you ended up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe and hit that notification button so that you don't miss a single video, and share the video if you can. Also follow me on Patreon and also on X on Twitter and on Instagram. Okay, onto the video.
These are fragments of RM's self, past, present, and future, all existing at the same time in him. It isn't really clear which is his past, which is his present or future, but it seems that each room he entered and the situation he found himself in was real. I didn't see it as him walking down memory lane. I think it was more him reliving fragments of himself he left in each of the pockets of his desires, realized or not. In other words, some of this may have happened, and some of this are happening, and others he just wants to happen. The timeline isn't really linear. As he relieves his past or lives his future desires, you can see a disconnect in his eyes. Many actually interpreted that to be unhappiness, and maybe they're right. But I personally interpreted that to be insecurity and maybe uncertainty. I feel like more than anything, he was asking himself if he was meant to be here, if he deserved to be here. Because every situation portrayed in the music video is actually considered to be quote-unquote desirable. These are the lives people dream of: a happy relationship, a happy family, a happy childhood. But wanting and deserving don't always go together. And that's what I saw in him. He wasn't sure if he was the right person to be in those shoes. It wasn't that he wasn't happy. He simply wasn't sure if he could handle it. We may be where we are supposed to be, but we aren't yet the person we need to be for the moment to turn into our life. This music video has a different approach from other narratives of other music videos he has done before, solo or with BTS. The hero, RM, didn't go through a life-altering pain. Nobody hurt him to insanity. It was in fact easy. Right from the get-go, we opened with him in the middle of a party, a quintessential symbol of enjoyment. It was him who wasn't enjoying it. He just couldn't find the joy in it. And that discontent actually made him leave, and he found himself in a family bathroom with his wife and his child. Still with no trigger, he still felt discontented, and he moved on to a room with his partner. It was the huge fight that made him move again into another room with another girl. and then finally in his own crib when he was a kid. These are all the right places we should find ourselves in, with a family, with a partner, with your own parents. This made me think though. I personally know that I've been in situations where I knew I had to be there. It was meant for me. I had it in my hand, but because I was not yet the right person I was meant to be or needed to be for that situation, it slipped away. So I'm interested in your story. Have you found the right job, the right group of friends, the right man or woman, the right country, the right house, but you couldn't make it last because you weren't the right person yet for it? Share it in the comment section. The only thing you will never find is yourself. We all know the old adage, you will always find what you're looking for. I believe in this with one exemption. We will never find ourselves because we already have it. We've always had it and will always have it. And yet, this is what people constantly search for themselves. What we should be working on is acceptance. And in this music video, it was clear that he was all that he was supposed to be in his past, present, and future. Through all his broken dreams, miserable realities, and failed relationships, he never changed. And the strongest visual clue we have is RM's physical appearance. It was consistent throughout. They didn't make any effort to make him look younger or older or get a younger actor to play him. He has always been in his fullness from the beginning. As we are, I believe, often we just don't make an effort to discover ourselves in our totality, flaws included. So our tendency is to search for ourselves, quote unquote, outside of who we are, and we will never really find us there. Just like how RM is trapped inside the same house, we will forever be trapped within the walls we build around us until we appreciate all that we are and all that we have, pain included. Everything comes back, but you may not get everything. After his confrontation with himself, represented by the woman, we start reliving all those pockets of himself, but now from a brighter, lighter perspective. We see him happy with his wife and kid, giddy with the girl he was fighting with, enjoying the arms of his parents when he was a kid. These were the same situations he was in earlier, but this time he finds and we see the joy because he was finally the right person for it. But some or all of this may be something he can never truly recover or have in its purest form because they may have changed or the situation may have changed. We know this because when he finally managed to open the door, we see all the places he has been. The room with a crib, the bathroom, every place he had been into was there. But the people weren't. He could, if he chooses now, go and claim what he has lost, try to recover it, and it will come back. But he won't have everything back. We could apply that to ourselves too. We may find ourselves ready and deserving of what we wanted before, but those things and the people in it might have moved on. We may seek to get something similar, or if we are brave, simply recover the things that we had in the past, but we can't get everything back in their old form. Just like you can never step into the same river twice, just like we can never marry our first love, we can also never go back to our old life. Conversation between him and the lost him. In true RM fashion, I believe the lyrics may be interpreted 1,000 different ways, but my favorite of my interpretations is how this may actually be his conversation with himself. It was him asking himself to come back to the person he has always been. In the first verse, it was him telling his lost self to be who he should be. The pre-chorus is his lost self answering. That's why it's more radical and rebellious. I forgot the hour. I don't want to know about the hour. He was encouraging himself to break free because he thought he was trapped. In the refrain and chorus, his real self just continues the same message. I think this line, which he kept on repeating throughout, is like a mother's lullaby. Repetitive, very soothing, because that's what we need to come back to in the end, to the safety of our brave young souls. nurtured by the compassion, care, and love of the people around us, and shaped by the opportunities and possibilities that the future and the world offer. In the chorus, he tells his rebellious self that he is hurting himself. You are my pain, divine. Half singing, half poetry reading. I like RM's singing voice, and I think it's perfect for a laid back genre like indie pop. But this approach to the song demonstrated that it's also how he uses that voice that makes it powerful. In Come Back to Me, he was half singing, half reading poetry. It didn't feel like he was sticking so strictly to the melodic range. He sounded like he was more than anything just reciting poetry, as you would if you are alone in your room and no one else is listening. It felt like it was more musings than it was actual singing. And it's probably what made me lean into looking at the lyrics as his conversation with himself rather than a conversation with others. If BTS started chapter 2 of K-pop, BTS's chapter 2 is starting the chapter 3 of K-pop. The music video director, Yi Sun-jin, also directed Beef. He is actually an Emmy Award director and writer. He said that all of his ideas that followed a more K-pop structure were actually turned down. It was when he realized RM really wanted something different. That's why they actually topped him. The music video is everything you wouldn't expect of K-pop. First, he dealt with really adult subjects. He was married with a kid, having an intimate conversation with a woman, not a girl. Second, he barely had any makeup on. He was really very much de-glamorized. Third, the lighting is more cinematic. In other words, they were designed to aid in the storytelling, not just to make the artist look good. All this and the fact that there is a clear enough narrative, but also loose enough for interpretation, actually advances what RM and his band have been doing. They are elevating K-pop, probably even higher than traditional global pop. It isn't about catchy beats, addictive melodies, and kick-ass choreography anymore. It's about using music to provoke ideas, reflection, and action. It isn't about just the glitz and the glamour. It's about expanding music beyond the sonic appeal, but towards igniting both the cerebral and emotional reaction. It's about telling a story now, asking questions, opening different conversations. BTS, of course, has been doing this, and that has attracted millions of diverse fans, as we can see. And this music video, and probably the whole album, is continuing to push the boundaries. Because this time, he's actually removing the illusion of perfection created by makeup and glamour lights. It's as if he's actually egging us on to concentrate on the story instead of the idol. And that is very much not pop.
I am so impressed and so inspired at how he continues to drive himself over his limits. He pushes himself to do more and see what else he can create given the raw materials that he has. He has been so tied and so identified with rap for so long that, and he has been so successful in there that you feel like, well, why the need to do something else if you're established there? But seeing him do it and really not seeing any other reason other than his sheer love for art and music, it actually inspires me. Being an older person now and also being comfortable in what I do, I feel often like what's the point? What's the point in pushing it? Like I'm fine. I don't have to, I'm fine where I am. But seeing him do it and realizing that if you love doing something, you continue doing it, you continue improving it simply because you love it. And that is really how you make perfect your emotions. That it is through actions. I hope that you found something there in my assessment, in my review of the song. And of course, this is just his first. He has 5 music videos. And of course, all of us are waiting for the actual album. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Please share them in the comment section below. And even if you don't like the song, it's okay. You can say so. Just please be respectful. If you ended up liking this video, though, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, click that notification button and the subscribe button and share the video if you can. Also, follow me on Patreon, on X or Twitter, and on Instagram. Thank you.